Archives of Prasar Bharati presents the timeless treasure of golden era.
Highlights of this evening's program. The idol makers of Chittaranjan Park, where the Durga Puja runs through the year. Kailash Rao, the man who tells everyone's future but his own. And the Tibetan Bazaar, the symbol of the will of a refugee people. Chittaranjan Park, Delhi's little Calcutta, where the Bengali comes into his own. What better symbol of this culture than the Durga Puja? The puja comes and goes, and with it come and go the lavishly ornate idols. But where do they come from? Would you believe it? This ramshackle hut. No one would give it a second look, except that there are sometimes some strange sights in its courtyard. It's not just the Durga Murtis that are made here. The craftsmen who live here with their creations also make idols for various other minor pujas, Lakshmi, Saraswati, Kali. This strange, larger-than-life doll combines the body of a statue of a local councillor with a leftover head from the previous 26th of January railways float. The horse is from an earlier job for the Steel Authority of India Limited. Inside the hut, the atmosphere is almost surreal. The space is dominated by Durga Murtis in various stages of completion. This is the bulk of the work, and much of it is done in advance. On some, the details and the faces of the goddess and her mount have already been etched. Only the painting and the ornamentation remains. But it's a long and sometimes tedious process that brings the idols to this state. Mihir Kumar Baidya, one of the artisans here, explains.
প্রথমে কাঠ দিয়ে স্ট্রাকচার করা হয় আর কি কাঠ দিয়ে স্ট্রাকচার করে ওর মধ্যে বাঁশের মানে সাপোর্ট রাখার জন্য বাঁশ পোতা হয় বিভিন্ন কোয়ালিটি করে আর কি
To begin with, we make a fundamental structure out of wood. We place a bamboo pole in this to act as support. This is all done according to the design given. Then we take the drawing. Some people use drawings. Some do it through instinct, fostered by experience. According to the drawing, straw is tied on to create the basic figure.
খড় বেঁধে ওর উপরে আলগা মাটি প্রথমে লেপে নেওয়া হয়
Loose mud is then plastered onto the created forms. Then we make firm mud out of clay and plaster it on. This is really to give a hardened form to the idol, which is now taking shape.
খড়ের উপরে ওই মাটিটা দিয়ে ধাঁচাটা করে নেওয়া হয় উপরন্ত শক্ত হওয়ার জন্য ওই মাটিটা দেওয়া হয়
By now, the piece has begun to resemble the murti, at least in its general form. Now it's a matter of finishing it. The idols are sanded, polished, and varnished next. This makes them easier to paint upon. The painting and ornamentation requires a great deal of skill and precision. Much of the skills of these craftsmen come from training. The training itself can come in various ways.
বিভিন্ন ধরনের আছে আর কি, শিখতে গেলে বিভিন্ন ভাবে শেখে। যেমন আর্ট স্কুলও আছে, বা কেউ প্রাইভেট আর্টিস্ট দিয়ে শেখে।
People learn this art in many different ways. There are art schools where you can learn. Some people learn through private means, some from work experience, others by watching professionals. I, for one, have learned from an art school. There are 3 main schools in Calcutta: the Indian Art College, the ITI, which runs a course, and the Government Art College.
আইটিআইও পেন্টিং সমস্ত কিছু শেখা হয়। তারপরে গভর্নমেন্ট আর্ট কলেজ একটা আছে, বিভিন্ন আর্ট কলেজ স্কুল এই ধরনের আছে, এর থেকেও শেখে। আবার কেউ এই সব দেখে কাজকর্ম করেও শেখে।
I learned first from school and then from the experience I've gathered while working. This too is a form of learning. The experience of these craftsmen have taught them many things, including some useful shortcuts. One of these is the use of intricately carved plaster of Paris dies for idols which are commonly made. Looking at these clumsy, headless figures, it seems strange that they will soon be worshipped. However, it is gratifying to think that maybe in some way worship is but a tribute to the labor and skill of these craftsmen. As he walks the streets of Delhi, Kailash Rao is a most nondescript man. The only thing that gives away what he is the parrot's cage that he carries about with him. Kailash Rao, the cage announces, tells fortunes. Choosing a reasonably spreading tree, Kailash Rao sets up shop. All his wares are carried in his one little jhola and his parrot cage. Placing his rug on the ground, he systematically arranges the symbols of his trade all about himself. Then he settles himself down and awaits customers. Kailash Rao uses various methods to tell fortunes. Usually the mode chosen depends on the client. Sometimes, though, he might use some method on his own to reinforce his readings. Where has he learnt all this from, one wonders?
हम एमपी मध्य प्रदेश खंडवा के रहने वाले हैं।
I belong to Khandwa in Madhya Pradesh. Being pandits and fortune tellers is the family occupation. And though we've read palms and practiced astrology for generations, it is only for the last 10 to 12 years that I have worked with a parrot. The first gurus are the parents. After that, you make your own gurus. Without a guru, you can't learn. This has been our only work. We own no land or business otherwise. The obvious paradoxes in reading people's fortunes are not his to consider. His is a vocation like anyone else's. He has learnt what he has learnt, and never thought to question its rationality. Rationality, in fact, is not his domain. He deals in more abstract concepts like fate and death.
वैसे सर पढ़ने का क्या सवाल है, तो गुरु मैंने बतला ही दिया, गुरु बिन ज्ञान नहीं है, गिरे बिन हार नहीं, भेद बिन चोरी, काल बिन मौत नहीं। तो ऐसा है, पंडित किसी का तकदीर तो नहीं बदलता है, अगर तकदीर बदल देता तो खुद अपना बदल के बैठ जाता।
There's no point in learning by itself. Without a guru, it's useless. A pandit can't change anyone's destiny. If he could, he'd just change his own. Fate is written about in the scriptures, and it just has to be read. It's all written in the lines of the palms. You can't predict matters of birth and death. Those are in the hands of God. No one can foretell death. Neither can anyone avert it.
लेकिन उनका फल जो है ऐसा है, आजकल तो ये ज्योतिष शास्त्र की किताबें इतनी निकली है कि पूछो मत, लेकिन जो पुरानी चीजें थी वो तो नहीं रहती। आजकल तो डुप्लीकेट।
People like me learn from the Shastras and then read a man's personality and destiny from their faces or their palms. But people are skeptical about these things nowadays, so we lay all our learning out for them to see. Fate and the vagaries of life and death are revealed to him through a number of means. His trained parrot and printed cards are one of these.
लिखा है, देखो पूर्ण सिंह भाई, आपका राशि कन्या है, स्वामी आपका बुद्ध है, राशि का मालिक, बुद्धि का मालिक। वैसे जीवन में आप खुद अपना काम करना चाहते हो, गुलामी नहीं। वैसे आप जीवन में ये चाहते हो कि आप भविष्य के अनुसार माने अपना धंधा, अपना कारोबार, अपना बिजनेस करना, मगर वक्त के अनुसार भी पैसा नहीं है। मगर अभी समय है, धीरज से काम करें। माने कहते हैं देर है अंधेर नहीं है, टाइम लगेगा थोड़ा, मगर आपके जीवन के अंदर अपना कार्य करोगे।
It's not surprising that Kailash Rao can still make a living for himself, telling fortunes. At heart, India still has immense faith in its traditional beliefs. So, Kailash Rao can still tell anyone his or her fortune. Well, not quite anyone. There is one person, he admits, whose future he is unable to see.
खुद अपने आप तो देखो, कहते हैं ना कि वकील की वकालत खुद नहीं कर सका।
A lawyer can't fight his own case. A barber cut his own hair. So, how can I foresee about myself? In some places, the wide expanse of the Yamuna looks more like the green belt than like a river. Across one of these stretches, a new bridge is being built. One section is already operational. As this bridge sweeps around on the western bank, it meets up with the ring road heading north. Before it does so, there is a gateway, which is little more than a gap in the wall. Through here, life ceases to be Indian and becomes instead Tibetan. Most of these faces here have distinctly Oriental features, and most of them are highly expressive. The Tibetan refugees have set up a bazaar here. It has been around for quite a while now.
ऐसे है जी, हमारे मार्केट जो है आज से बरसों 20 साल से पहले यहाँ पे लगा हुआ है। वैसे एक्चुअली
This market has been in existence for about 20 years now, though official sanction was granted by the MCD only in the early 80s. We had appealed to them saying we were refugees, And if we were to remain here, we would have to think about our livelihood. We used to put up shops as hawkers on the pavement. The government agreed to rehabilitate 58 families in this market. Now it's the profits from these shops that help us to run our lives and take care of our families. Also from our profits, we give what we can to the Tibetan struggle.
मतलब जो है चाहे प्रॉफिट हो जो भी हो हमारे लिवलीहुड चलते हैं और हमारे बाल बच्चे जो है पलने उसमें चलते हैं और हमारी जो टिबेटन फ्रीडम जो स्ट्रगल के बारे में जो हम संघर्ष करते हैं जो उसके बारे में जो हमारे तरफ से चाहे जितना दान की थोड़ा योग दे सकते हैं हम वो भी जरूर इसी मार्केट थ्रू से हम देते हैं.
On entering the bazaar, the main feature of the market is immediately evident. There are rows upon rows of stalls selling clothes, clothes and more clothes. Many of them have famous foreign labels and markings, but not all of them come from abroad.
मार्केट की जो आइटम जो है अब यहाँ ज़्यादातर रेडीमेड की होते हैं तो हमारे मार्केट में रेडीमेड की जो ज़्यादा यहाँ बेचते हैं एक ज़माना ऐसी था कि
most of the items here are ready-made. There was a time when we used to sell imported stuff.
की होते थे कि जो नेपाल जो हमारे भाई बहन आते हैं और कोई वहाँ पे अपने भाई बहन मिलने के लिए जाते हैं तो कोई ऐसे आइटम्स लेके आते हैं तो वो अपनी मतलब जो है एक्सपेंडिचर के लिए वो लेके आते हैं तो वो यहाँ पे जो है बेचते हैं तो हम लेते हैं और दूसरा
This would come from Nepal and from Southeast Asia. A large number of Indians traveled to those countries and they used to come back with items which we could sell over here. But now I can say with some amount of certainty that almost everything that you get in this market is totally Indian.
अब इस वक्त ऐसी है कि ज़्यादातर जो है आप जो है हमारे अंदर जो यहाँ मार्केट में बेचते हैं वो ये होसरी सारा जो है मैं तो ये कहूँगा कि इंडियन की है.
Clothes aren't, however, the only commodity here. Sports shoes, again sporting foreign markings, wait for the right feet to try them on. Shoelaces, like fluorescent worms, add more colour to the already colourful stalls. Here and there, imported cosmetics enhance the foreign scent of the place. There's a lot of stuff here for the taking, and a lot of takers. Many of them, strangely enough, are foreigners. Close to the bazaar is a Bodh Vihar. Run by lamas, this is both a place of worship and a traveller's rest. The architecture and the decor of the Vihar brings one fact across strongly. The Tibetans may be strangers in a strange land, but Tibet is always with them.